a super secret location deep within the mountains of Colorado, it's time to strap up, strap in, or strap on with your host, Shenanigans in One Shot. It's From the Ashes Radio!
You are going to have to adjust it. Make it so. I've been doing this from a desk for like 3 weeks now. This is like going back for me. I can't help it.
It's okay. I forgive you. I forgive you. Welcome to From the Ashes Radio Show. I am one of your hosts, One Shot Seth, with our other host, Robert Shenanigans Williams. How are you tonight, sir?
Better than I deserve. It is good to be back at the super secret location.
It's so much better than all these crazy bunker places, lands of fruits and nuts.
There's so much damn security in this place now. They're all lounging in front of the fireplace, and yeah, it's hysterical.
Yeah. My pack. Oh, man.
I like it. Nathan Hucker. Hello, Nathan Hucker. How the heck are you? That's one of your old guys, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's one of your boys?
Yep.
Julie Andrews and Jody Owens are listening. Well, what's up, Jody? How the heck are you? And Julie Andrews. I know Julie Andrews. I know that name, but it doesn't matter. Whatever. What's been going on, man? How's your week been? We got a heck of a show today.
It's been a heck of a week. I feel like, in a good way.
I agree completely.
I do want to give my condolences though, and my sympathy out to the Kansas City Swifties that got their asses fucking handed to them yesterday by my Denver Broncos on their Super Bowl run. I felt really bad for them. My godson's dad.
You are all broncoed out today. I like that.
There was a reason. I even called my godson's dad's out in Kansas City. Has season tickets. Fucking.
We are loud and obnoxious when our team wins.
I'm not obnoxious when they don't win. I'm just loud and obnoxious. But yeah, I called him and told him not to overthink it. He still has a good team. And then I sang "Shake It Off."
I love so like I forget who it was that played the New Orleans Saints. It was like right after Hurricane Katrina came through there and like destroyed New Orleans and whatnot. And I want to say it was the Raiders, but as the game was ending, they played "Rock You Like a Hurricane" by the Scorpions, and I'm like, that's fucking awesome. And then when the Broncos played "Shake It Off," I'm like, that's the same level of pain and suffering right there. I love that shit.
What you know was killing me yesterday is they kept like during the game. They were putting up Travis Kelce's numbers,
stats when she's in there and when she's not.
I guess he plays better if girlfriend's in the stands.
I mean, I get it. There's a reason I don't invite my significant other to like jiu-jitsu tournaments and things like that.
That was my next subject.
I don't want my family watching me get my ass kicked.
So I competed my first couple of tournaments, and I kept like having like friends and girlfriends and whatever there.
Wait. You had a girlfriend before Crystal?
Nope.
Anyway, so jiu-jitsu tournament, go ahead.
And like I wasn't really doing that good. And then I like changed my mentality where I was like, dude, I'm gonna hang out with my fucking team. I'm not gonna tell anybody I'm going. So I came home a couple times and like met with friends, other people, and I'm like, they're like, oh, you won some medals. Like, you didn't even tell me to compete. I'm like, yeah, because I didn't want you there. I want to do this. And I've always done better, and like no matter the result, felt better about it after.
Doesn't seem that way for what's that dude's name? Kelsey, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
T Swift. I have a friend who watches the show once in a while. His name is Phil, and he has a T-shirt that says T Swift's next mistake. And I'm like, that is a classic T-shirt for a variety of reasons. That's hysterical. At least I just think it's hysterical. Yeah. Did you ever find the Never Forgotten that I sent you direction? Or not Never Forgotten. The Carl?
No. Did you send it?
I sent it through Messenger. I'm surprised I'm disappointed you didn't get it.
No. Look, the last one is I sent you our Never Forgotten, and it says yes, and there's nothing more there. Hold on, I'm going to check and see if you sent it somewhere else. Let's see if...
Did I send it on the From the Ashes page or something? Oh, well, it doesn't really matter.
No.
Is that it? No, it's
no,
not.
But my mom just reminded me that the Lysol can is not in view.
See, this is why we like our listeners. How do we... There we go, Seth's mom. How's that? Can you see it now? Not really?
You gotta like go like, oh man.
Oh, look at you. Yeah, see?
is why you are not allowed to adjust things.
Would you believe I'm getting a master's degree in this bullshit, but can't figure that shit out? Thank you, Seth's mom. We appreciate your support. That's kind of awesome. I love that it's like really big. It's like if you catch a fish and you hold it really close to the camera. The right way.
Goodness.
So
I guess you're gonna have to do Carl all on your own.
Well, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was really, really funny.
You gotta pull up the article. You gotta have it somewhere now.
I do. Give me a second here.
Holy crap! I should have just done it all.
Well, you basically do. Where did I see it? It was on. It was really funny. It was Task and Purpose, of course. And I love
Which
those
is where
guys.
we found our Never Forgotten. And I don't believe in saying this, but I have a kick-ass Never Forgotten. There is such a thing as a kick-ass Never Forgotten. I found a really good one just due to timing and what's going on in the world. I felt like it was a good one. And I was looking for Carl, and I found that.
And listeners, if you're listening to this, we love when you send us. What the heck is going on? The security system is going nuts. We love when you send us Carl's, and we want to remember your folks, so your Never Forgottens. The folks that you send us are the important ones. But yes. All right. So I'm scrolling through Task and Purpose. I know I saw it here. It was pretty awesome. They cracked me up to no end. Army still dreaming of power. If you don't follow Task and Purpose on Facebook or Instagram or any of those, you are or TikTok even now, you are absolutely missing out, because Task and Purpose has some of the best shit out there. Old guy, charges dropped. Because it was a thing about Fort Liberty, and I'm like, never heard of it. Fort Liberty, no such thing, no such place. And I'm not finding the article anymore. Now it's not popping up. Because we're already past last week, where it's like the dude with the moldy barracks. Huh, that's disappointing. I wonder why it didn't pop up. Oh, look at that. Fake Marine gets 70 months in prison. Oh, there it is.
Oh, no.
Fake Marine gets 70 months in prison for defrauding veteran charities. We love stuff like that. That came up in conversation just recently, too.
It's came up in conversation with me a couple of times recently.
Yeah, like the Stolen Valor thing.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, stop it. Just stop what you're doing. It doesn't need to be that way. Stop the Colorado gun, blah, blah, blah. I'm disappointed I can't find this now. Oh, well, it doesn't. Linda Rodenbauer, back to your video. It doesn't matter. Look, folks, here's the important part. I think I've asked you this before. I'll ask you this again. What are you doing for Veterans Day? I'm gonna ask every week. I already know you told me, but I'm gonna keep asking.
Well, I'm attempting to find a partner to do your CrossFit Veterans Day thing.
Oh, you're gonna do Chad?
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm picking a partner, and I'm blanking on her name because now I'm trying to say who's the owner of CrossFit Loop.
Oh, Carissa May.
Carissa, thank you. Carissa was, such a great salesman on me doing Carl or Chad, whatever. The old box gym. She's like, hey, you can be a partner. Immediately, I thought about somebody.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for him to let me know if he can confirm or not. If not, I'll have to find somebody else because I ain't doing that alone.
No, I don't believe that's a motherfucker of a workout. 1,000 step-ups?
1,000 step-ups with a ruck.
Yeah. Fuck that, man. It is a rough workout.
I'm okay with it, but I don't think my current leg status is okay with it.
I can get behind that. I can absolutely get behind that.
And our friend that I asked, his last name's Nashville.
Yeah.
Now,
the only blessing is he's got such little legs that, you guys would be all right.
It's a bigger step up.
Yeah.
It's probably worse, but either way, I was telling him.
God, I hope he's not listening.
He's like, no, thank God he doesn't listen to the show. He's like, I was like, hey, do you want to do this workout with me? I was like, I need a partner. And it's a Veterans Day thing. He's like, I don't know if I can on Veterans Day. And I was like, okay. Then I told him what it was. And he's like, oh. And I'm like, dude, if you're saying that, think about what me and my knee are saying.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
gonna be rough. But that's part of doing it. That's part of the positive part of it is the suck factor.
Of course. That's all the hero workouts. I agree completely.
Yeah.
I agree completely.
So
I'm doing that. Hopefully not with you. And then I'm going up to Colorado State University. We're going to tailgate, and then we're bringing the flag out into the field for the game.
Cool. What time is that?
Cool. It's in the evening.
Okay, so you'll make the noon veteran roll.
Yes.
Yes, you will. So yeah, then nooner veteran roll at the academy.
That's awesome. That's always a good time, folks. If you have not, even if you don't normally do jujitsu, if you're a veteran and you're hearing this, if you don't have anything going on Veterans Day, find your local, check out the We Defy Foundation, and then find out where they're hosting a roll close to you and go. You don't even have to do jujitsu. You can go and just sit on the mat and meet other veterans. It's a great way to get the party started. It's a great way to get out of our shell. I suppose, good stuff there. You should definitely do that. There's a lot of good stuff going on Veterans Day. I'll
free meals everywhere.
And I have a lot of friends that do that. And we talked about this last week. I have a lot of friends that will start their day at Starbucks and get their free black cup of coffee, then walk over to Texas Roadhouse.
How do you say that business's name?
Why?
Because it's Starbucks.
I'm not a fan of theirs either.
Yeah. Starbucks.
I won't drink their coffee.
I won't either. It's terrible.
I mean, I ambivalent about the coffee. If you're not going to hire veterans, you're going to hire immigrants over veterans. Fuck you. Yeah. That's just my attitude. So I won't patronize your business. That's just me. But yeah.
No, and then also, again, well, my little brother's boxing that night.
Yep. You gonna go?
Yeah. I'll corner him, and then
where is he boxing?
I have to look at the events that are good. I think it's in Lakewood,
cool.
Colorado. But
that'll
be his debut boxing fight.
So I didn't realize you come from a family of boxers.
I don't really.
Is this his first fight? Is it?
It is. He just started kind of because of me and big sister.
Good for him. That's outstanding. I'm excited.
But no, here's one thing.
If I wasn't going to be at CSU, I would be there.
And I wish I had him readily accessible, but I have my grandfather's boxing gloves from when he boxed for the Navy. And I said grandfather, and I said box in the Navy. So in your head, you're doing some era or years.
Yes, yeah,
right?
Well that too. Yeah.
So he had the leather mittens.
Yeah.
Of we're boxing
4-ounce gloves. Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. So I have 2 pair of his gloves. It's super. I'm so pumped.
I say it all the time. Our grandfathers were badasses.
Dude, complete badasses. We have nothing.
And they went to World War II or Korea.
Mm-hmm.
They just disappeared for 4 years, came back right into the workforce, right? Go do their thing.
Yeah.
And and just, drank themselves, but
I was just gonna say they can come back and end up in all these mental health PTSD fucking crybaby back bullshit. They came back and went to fucking work, and they
ran the nation.
A lot of them drank themselves silly while they were still kicking ass and taking names, but just
both of my grandfathers died of alcoholism.
Different breeds.
And both were Korean War vets.
So my one grandfather, who was not a veteran, he died of alcoholism. He actually drank himself into cardiac arrest and died in my dad's arms. And my other one did not drink himself silly, and he was in World War II.
So, war is hell. Got it. You see things are awful. What's worse, the way they did it or what our generation is going through right now, where we've all got PTSD, we're all getting help from some other source or something?
So if you didn't say anything after who's doing it worse, I would have said we're doing it way fucking worse.
Agree.
But then you say identifying and working on and doing programs, which I think is good. I just think the crybaby back bullshit is fucking not for me.
Some go way overboard, yeah.
Dude, it's sickening sometimes. I'm not saying don't go work on yourself,
but personal accountability, take responsibility.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, and that's where I think the strength comes in. Where I think it's a positive thing, where you're like, hey, I can work through some things and be a better person. But just the doom and gloom, poor me bullshit, I don't have any patience with. I never have.
My thing over the last year, 6 months, is I can't pass this on to my kids. We saw some shit. We did some shit.
Right.
My kids don't deserve to pay for that. And that's why I stopped drinking. And, that's why I'm very aggressive with, some kind of therapy of some type. It can be whatever. Different strokes for different folks. But I agree. We have to take personal. And we say this all the time on this show. No one's coming. It's up to us. But what that means is help yourself, and then, get yourself into a program, find what works for you. 44,000 different nonprofits across our nation, all aimed at you. Find one that does something you like and
when we say therapy, the other problem is a lot of times, like, and I do this myself, I immediately pictured a circle of people holding hands, singing fucking Kumbaya, and like that's just not like therapy is a very broad word or very broad spectrum of what goes into that. So yeah, I do jiu-jitsu for hours, 6 days a week, sometimes 7, usually 6. That's therapy. Agreed. Getting on your motorcycle, going across the country, or going around a little ride, like whatever, that's therapy. You know, for some people, going out and shooting guns, that's therapy. Some people go take a hike,
fly fishing, whatever it may be, hunting,
smoking a cigar for you. You know, there's a million working on an engine. Like there's a million different things out there that are therapeutic, and you don't have to like identify it as sitting in a room in a circle, holding hands, singing Kumbaya.
And I'm not saying it's because of us, but are you seeing the blow up right now of guitars for vets?
No,
they are drastically expanding. We interviewed, I think it was you and I interviewed a Warrior's Garden, and the guy that runs that, Malachus, got a new Les Paul guitar and whatnot from Guitars for Vets and taking lessons, and now he's up on stage and shit.
That's awesome.
I know, man, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Speaking of supporting vets, so we have someone that we're about to bring on who we like a lot. Our friend Katie. Katie, you're muted. There you go. Unmute yourself. How the heck are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am better than I deserve. What's your evening like?
Just got home from work not too long ago and here with you.
You like you're freezing your ass off. What's with the hat, man?
I work outside, so you know it's cold outside.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, my good friend Katie Druva. Katie, let's start at the beginning. You are not a veteran. However, you took on that mantle and you shouldered that burden and you decided to marry a Marine. Hey, the nation thanks you for that. We appreciate you taking one in. Is he standing next to you? Yeah. Is he walking around the house in his Viking horns and his underwear? He is, in fact. That's my favorite Marine right there. What's up, man? How you doing? So you decide to marry a Marine, which, again, thank you for taking on that burden. The nation appreciates it. But more importantly, you are a small business owner in the South Denver metro area. Tell us the name of your business. Let's start there.
So I own and operate C3 Drywall. We're a residential and commercial drywall specialist, and we work with homeowners and business owners and anybody that has any drywall need in and around Douglas County and the surrounding areas here.
How does a super hot blonde chick get into hanging drywall? How the hell does that happen?
I grew up in construction. I have a lot of family members that are in different trades. I worked, ironically, down at Camp Pendleton the same time that Eric was stationed down there. I just didn't know him.
Her face when she said that was awesome.
So very ironic, but I worked with my dad's construction company down there for a few years, but it's just kind of always been a part of my life. My brother-in-law is an electrician. My dad is a licensed plumber. I have uncles that are in all the different trades. So it's something that I've always been very familiar with. And I was a stay-at-home mom for 8 years and decided that I wanted to get back into doing something outside of changing diapers. So I became a general contractor and quickly realized that I hated it because I'm way too sensitive to be dealing with all of the problems that happen in a general contracting environment. And drywall was the worst trade to deal with. And so I just figured, well, challenge accepted. If that's the worst trade to deal with, then I'll be the best at it that I can be and fill that void that in that niche market. So that's what we've been doing.
I don't get it. Is there just no love for self? I mean, you picked the worst possible trade. You married a Marine. Why do you keep beating yourself up like this? What's the deal, man?
I like a challenge, so.
That's exactly what I've always thought of him as too.
Yeah.
To be clear, folks, her husband and I worked at a gun store together for a number of years, and the guy is pretty damn cool. If you ever run into him, he's the one walking around with the Viking horns on. He's cool.
He's the
cool
best.
What do you call it? So the whole reason we had you on here is because I have never met someone that's as supportive of the veteran community in the same way. Julie Andrews is like, "Hi, Katie Druva, you're getting a lot of shout outs. What the heck, man?"
That's my mom.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that sounds familiar. So
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. I've never met someone as supportive of the veteran community as the way and passionate about it in the way that you are. We ran into each other at a place called Blue Mountain. Yeah, Wild Blue Yonder here in the Castle Rock, Denver metro area. And you were you're on the board or you're a supporter for, what is it, the Douglas County Veterans Monument Fund or something like that? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Douglas County Veterans Monument Foundation. So I was leaving a meeting from there. They do a monthly meeting of all of their board members and associate board members. So basically, DCVMF is it's a nonprofit organization, kind of like what you were speaking to earlier. They support veterans that have been honorably discharged in Douglas County, and it doesn't matter what it is that they need. They can file a form, and the board reviews it. And I don't recall what the lifetime allowance is. It's like $2,000 or $2,500, but it's more where people are in a situation where they need a hand up, not necessarily a hand out. Some of the situations are, my car's broke down. That's my only means of getting to work. I live paycheck to paycheck. Or, my mom was sick, so I left my job to go take care of her in her dying days. And now I need help catching up so I don't get evicted from my apartment, or whatever the situation is. They are able to fill out a grant form. The board reviews it, and then they just confirm that they're legitimate. And then they're able to help these veterans out. And, nobody's necessarily looking for handouts. It's just more like, I've fallen on hard times and I need a little bit of assistance, or I need help connecting to good resources. Can you help? And that's where DCVMF steps in. So it's a really awesome organization that I feel very strongly about. There's a handful of them that we like supporting, but that one's here right in our backyard, and they do a lot of really amazing work. So I love the people that are on the board and their mission and their purpose and the good that they do. So it's a nice one to be a part of.
Well, and so you and I had coffee one day, and you were talking and whatnot, and your level of passion about this, it makes you moist in the eyes. First of all, thank you for that, by the way. Your support of that organization. We love Rob Lilly and that organization. We're big fans of him on this show. You remember Rob?
I was just going to say we had
we've had him on twice. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Not too long ago, 6 months ago or so.
Yeah. It's important with what they're doing. So yeah.
Yeah, Rob's great, and then Rob is great, and then Michael Connors with Pause. He's awesome. We love supporting his organization. And then, it's actually coming up here every holiday season. We work with Operation Help a Hero. They have a branch down here at Fort Carson in the Springs, and actually I think it's at Peterson this year. So it's essentially an adopt a family situation where anybody can go in and adopt an active duty military family. This year, our goal is to adopt 3 families, and we have a family with 4 little boys. So we always try to adopt the bigger families because those are usually a little bit harder for smaller families to manage. But that's our goal this year. Is the first year we did 1, the second year we did 2. This year we're hoping to do 3 families. And they're all like, I forget what it was. I don't remember what the rankings are, but it's like E1 through E4. Does that sound right? Or E1 through E5. So they're like, they struggle financially, and they've got kids and they're deployed or home, but they're all active duty. So I always cry when I wrap the presents and get the little card from them because, you make a difference in somebody's life, and it's a once in a lifetime thing for them. They can only apply once in their military time. So I just try to make it special for them. We try to make it really count for their little families.
I grew up very, very poor, and we had like government cheese and stuff like that. But it wasn't until I was in the Army as an E4 or whatever I was, that was the first time that we were actually on, I think it was called WIC after my son was born. We got like milk and tuna and peanut butter and stuff like that. Yeah. And I had never experienced something like that. So what's the name of that organization again that you're supporting?
It's called Operation Help a Hero. It's OHH. You can Google it, and they're all over the nation, but they have a division specifically for this area that we live in. So if you don't live near a hub, you can still adopt a family and purchase gifts and have them mailed to the hub. But because we're in Castle Rock and they're just down in the Springs, I have everything shipped here. I wrap it all for all the families and I drive it down there and drop it off right before Christmas. And they do that to where it maintains the dignity and the privacy of the families so that they can decide, does their family, I don't know if there's kids watching, but is Santa a part of their Christmas or not?
She's always like, she's like, oh, I hope there's no kids listening. So Santa helps. Really? She's always like this.
So
what were you saying?
We do that to where we can kind of cater it towards whatever their family needs. And the thing that's always very humbling for Eric and I is that we're reading through these lists, like a wish list, essentially, right, for each of the family members. And it's not wants, it's needs. Like, I need a winter coat. My son needs winter boots. I need a new pair of tennis shoes, or oftentimes I need an electric razor because, they got to shave every day or whatever. So these are very humble requests. They're not like, oh, I want a PS5. It's, my 3-year-old wants a teddy bear, so they're very modest requests, very, very simple requests. And for me, I don't know how to do things a little bit, I got a whole bunch of kids.
Yeah, I got
that. So for me, I always go overboard, but I just think if I were in that position and I was humbled enough to have to file the paperwork to ask for help to make my Christmas special for my family, I would want somebody to look at that situation and look at that wish list and just love on me and my family as much as possible. So that's what we try to do. And we're very, very blessed with the business and using that as a vehicle and a tool to give back to our community as much as we can. So with DCVMF, with Pause, with Operation Help a Hero, those are our 3 major ones. But it's just, I always say the more successful the company is, the more we can do with our veteran community. So, as long as
you
I
have
can
followers with like Alexis Lopez Shaw. That is so cool. Michael Connors, he missed his shout out. He just now tuned in, so you're a little late. Always comes through with a massive order of applause. Too late, man. We already gave you your shout out, Michael. Eric always do an awesome job. Yes, they do. Roy Gagney is watching. Nobody likes that guy. Nothing but good stuff. All right, so let's get to the first of all, that's amazing, and what you're doing for folks for Christmas, that's incredible. How can people support that so they can support you with what you're doing and support that? Because that's awesome.
Yeah, so really, we do drywall. So if you or anybody in the Castle Rock, Parker, Douglas County area, we offer free estimates. We come to you. We explain everything to you. And if you're interested in needing drywall, then come to us.
I'm going to get you there. I'm going to get you. Don't you worry. I will promise I will get you there. I love what you do, and I'm going to get you there. Let's back up just a little bit, though.
Okay.
You're very passionate about stuff like that. To the point where you're talking about like your children and the way you raise your family and think, where does this come from? And why, where does this come from in you?
Don't
look at him.
No, it just made me emotional thinking about it.
This is the place to do that. I cried like 6 months ago. It was terrible. Keep talking, Katie.
I was raised in a very patriotic household, and I come from a long line of service members, some who died in active duty and others who, came home to have families and live their life after that. But we know a lot of people who were in the military in one branch or another. Some of them came back intact and others didn't. Some of them came back with emotional and psychological wounds. Others didn't. And, I've seen in, real life what the VA system does and how they help people. And it's really sad. It's really sad how people, go into the military thinking that they're doing something good, and then they're so disposable afterwards. And so for me, sorry, I don't know why I'm so emotional, but for me,
You're not pregnant, are you?
I'm just one person, you know, and without my company, I wouldn't have the reach that I do. So I cannot think of anything more important than giving back to the people that provided me the freedom that I have and the ability to live the life that I do. So that is the only group of people that I could think of that is deserving of how much effort we put into community involvement and giving back to those around us. So
now the listening audience has gotten a taste of that emotion and passion that you bring to this, as well as, you know, supporting the Douglas County Veterans Monument Foundation and, you know, all the things, helping out heroes and all the things that you do. Now that the audience has a taste of, hey, this is who Katie is, and they get it about you. Now, C3 Drywall. Tell us about this. Where, let's say that I'm in the South Denver metro area, and you know, I had too many monsters yesterday, and I punched a hole in the drywall. Who am I? I'm calling you. What? Why is that funny? I had a monster once. I didn't like it, but I had it.
Yeah, so you call us, and I'm the one that deals with all this directly. It's not like you're calling an 800 number. You're literally calling my cell phone number. I schedule an estimate with you. We offer free estimates, and, you know, go through the whole process with each of our customers so that they know what to expect. They understand the process. We're very transparent and all that. Drywall is not the cheapest trade out there, but if it's done well, you know, it's worth it, kind of a thing. So we offer free estimates to everybody. We serve the South Denver metro area, and would be happy to help anybody who needs it. Or if you know anybody that needs something like that, we'd appreciate you passing on our information so we can help them.
Oh, we're going to pass on your information. Don't you worry. When we hang it up tomorrow, it's going to be all in the show highlights. Don't you worry. I have so much respect for the way you feel about this, and that you put your efforts where your mouth is. You're not just paying it lip service. A lot of veterans, a lot of us, you know, somebody will come up to you and be like, you know, oh, thank you for your service. Hey man, thanks a lot. Firm handshake. Really appreciate that. You take it 10 steps further than that. You're investing your time, your effort, your resources. Literally, you're taking time away from your family to go be a part of that board to help other veterans and to raise money for. Why do you think, as we go into this giving season, our nation needs more of that? How can people get involved and kind of express things the way that you do?
You know, the internet is a powerful tool. I mean, you just Google. I found DCVMF at a community event that I was working on behalf of DCF for. And Eric had introduced me to Rob Lilly, and I met Rob Lilly, and that's how I learned about DCVMF. And I met Michael Connors through Rob Lilly as well. I was looking for a dog trainer for our psycho puppy. And then Michael was starting his nonprofit. And so that's how I was able to connect with him. And I had made a Facebook post, I think 3 years ago, saying, you know, we want to do something, we want to adopt a family, but I don't know who to go through. And I would love for it to be a veteran or an active duty military family. And one of our friends who was a former Marine told me about Operation Help a Hero. So I didn't do anything special. I was just connected to these people somehow. And, you know, really, I appreciate the close proximity of all of this stuff. These people that we adopt and during the holidays, they live down the street from us here in the Springs. They're not some remote, you know, like they're real people, and we are really helping them out. And DCVMF is the same thing. Michael is the same thing. I know these people. I work with them. I see them at different events, you know, and knowing that it's a very close proximity. It's a very small circle of people here, and you can see the benefits of the things that you're doing in your community by the dogs that Michael's able to train and the veterans that he's able to gift them to, or the veterans that DCVMF helps, or the cards that we get in response to the families that we adopt. These are real people, and they genuinely appreciate this stuff. And it's not for me. I mean, it makes me so happy that we're able to do these things, but I don't want the attention or the, the congratulatory whatever. Like, this is not about me. It's about these people that have enabled an environment for us to live the way that we want to live. So I'm thankful for that.
Well, you may not want it, but we're going to make sure that you get it. So, because you are way too humble as far as I'm concerned, way too humble. The things you're doing, you are helping to feed families. So keep doing what you're doing. We're going to make sure that you get as much of a shout out as we possibly can. It may be on a little radio show in the super secret location, but hey, we're going to give you as many shout outs as we possibly can. And you have got quite the following. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
So I'm sure that Eric has regaled you and told you all about Friday afternoon safety briefings. We're not doing the safety briefing yet, but because you came on the show, we're going to offer you the opportunity. Give us a point that will add to the safety briefing in your name, because I'm going to let you get back to your family, because I know you took a lot of time out of your evening. Don't look like that. Don't make that face. So check it out. So normally, if you lean a little bit to your left there, he'll whisper something in your ear. So Friday afternoons, what happens is before you get cut loose for the day, you do the commander's safety brief. And it's like, don't add to the population, don't subtract to the population, whatever the case may be. But because on this show, we broadcast on Mondays, it has to last through the whole week. So it's our Monday week-long safety brief. So I'm sure he's told you all kinds of cool stories about the safety brief. You got something, and it can be anything you want. Anything you want. Give us a little something for the safety brief, and we'll add it at the end of the show.
Or we could just let the Navy guy
wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. I don't know.
That's perfect.
I mean,
that is perfect. That will be mercy. And I like that he laughed at the end too. Sure, he laughed because Seth called him a Navy boy, or because of your comment. But either way, it's still solid one. Yeah, everybody's like, that's a good one. We've never had that one before, so it's an excellent addition to the safety brief. I'm going to let my hetero life mate over here take you out.
All right. At the end of your time on the show, we consistently forget to ask things or bring things up that are keynotes to you being on here. So we give you about 2 minutes. We don't time you, but you get about 2 minutes to talk about anything you want within reason. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be within reason. It's internet radio.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Say whatever the fuck you want. Anything we glossed over, anything we forgot, anything you wanted to say coming on to the show, it's your time to shine.
Okay. Gosh, I would say that support your local small businesses, support your local veterans, take an opportunity to learn about the organizations and opportunities to get involved with your community, within your community. Like I said, the internet's a great resource. Go to community events, show up for people, ask questions. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I'm not afraid of looking stupid or asking dumb questions. And I think that's something that has really helped me learn a lot of things about, different community events or whatever. And I try to approach it as if, hey, I have a question about this, that, and the other. And maybe this is silly and I don't know this, but enlighten me, kind of a thing. So get involved where you can. Don't be shy. A lot of these things, they don't require you to have millions of dollars. It's a little bit goes a long way with many of these different organizations. And it doesn't even have to be a financial way of giving back. It could be donating your time, volunteering your efforts at an event to help out. There's a lot of different ways to get involved. And one thing that's important to us with our kids is getting them involved with us so that they understand the value of hard work and what it means to give back. So I would say definitely find a way to get involved, especially for this holiday season. People are struggling. People that don't normally struggle are struggling. And so there's a lot of opportunities to lend a helping hand in one way or another. So do something for somebody else. That's what I got for you.
You're awesome. Well done. Very well done. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been talking with our very good friend, Katie Druva. She is a small business owner. Small businesses are the engine of our nation's economy. Support your local small businesses as much as you possibly can. Big businesses, their whole job is to lay people off and cut costs. Small businesses are feeding your economy. Support a small business where you possibly can. Katie is unabashedly, outspoken advocate for the veteran community. By all means, go volunteer. She invests her time, her effort, her money, her resources. Katie, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your Monday night away from your family to be with us and be a part of this show. It means so much to us. Thank you so much for being here. And we hope to have you back at some point. And yeah, well done to you. Keep it up.
Yes. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on.
We appreciate you. Have a great day. And thanks a lot for being a part of the show. Bye. That chick's awesome, dude. She's super cool. If you haven't ever had a chance to sit down and have coffee with her,
I have not. I've not met her before.
You're going to. She's awesome. You're gonna love her. Just do the same behavior in if you're ready. You know, and this show is all about like, or at least we try to be all about, you know, veteran-based nonprofits and veteran success stories and things like that. But sometimes you gotta give a high five to those enablers sometimes. And she is a hardcore enabler. Hardcore. She's all about it. We had coffee probably 3 months ago or so, and I've never had a conversation with somebody that she was so vocal about her love of the veteran community. It was pretty awesome.
That's cool.
I mean, so much so that she decided to adopt a Marine by marrying him. Yeah. You know Eric, you've met him a bunch of times, so he's a good dude. And we're gonna add that to the safety brief. I like her answer. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, Allie has been very, very busy with passing legislation and doing all kinds of things for VSOs. So we don't always get Allie these days. Tonight is one of those nights where we're not going to have Allie, but that's okay. In just a little while, we're also going to have on David Boyd. What the heck is the name of his company? The Undistinguished Gentleman or something like that. We're going to have him. He asked, is this live? Yeah, it's live, man. Get your ass in here. This is live recorded. I'm racing home currently to get in front of the camera and my good mic. Man, dial in from your car. I love our guests. What do you call it? Copy. I love our guests. Our guests are good people. What do you call it? Folks, did you know that you can adopt a military family? So, like, just as an example, let's say you're living in the Colorado metro area, only because that's where we live. Thanksgiving is coming up. There are soldiers, single soldiers living in the barracks, who, for whatever reason or another, either A, don't have a home to go to for Thanksgiving, can't afford to come home, whatever the case may be. Reach out to the Air Force Academy, Fort Carson, Peterson Air Force Base, Buckley Space Force Base. Find out how you can adopt a soldier or an airman or a Navy guy for Thanksgiving. You can have them over the house for Thanksgiving dinner. And that will be the best. I assure you, if you've ever eaten at a military chow hall, that will be the best meal they've had in a very, very long time. And it is a great program. We've done it a few times. It's always kind of cool to get some service member that you've never met before over the house and just kind of hear their story, where they're from. And that's how we as a nation kind of build bridges and get to know people that you wouldn't normally get to have a conversation with.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. Operation Help a Hero. Oh yeah, let's put that one up on there so that people know it. Because in the meantime, we have our friend David Boyd. David, how are you, man? Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay, Rob?
I do. You've got this irritating grating noise in the background, but I think that's just your voice.
Oh, yeah. That is definitely right. Definitely right. I do want to call you out, though. You definitely did not say you could adopt a Marine while you were rattling that off. So if there's any Marines out there,
there's
can
a
get
reason.
Adopted.
I thought he summed that up when he said Navy.
Yeah, well, because I don't want to come home and find out that my dog is pregnant and there's no more crayons in my house.
These are valid concerns. These are definitely valid concerns. I definitely understand why you left it out there.
So the reason we've got David on today, David, you were with the Travis Manion Foundation, left that, and now have started your own organization called. And remind me the name of the organization.
Our organization is called Uncivilized.
Uncivilized. I said undistinguished. It was close enough. You've got some stuff. Oh, look at you. You're bright red. I hope you're sitting at a stoplight and not like at the red light district.
Yes.
I hope those are someone else's brake lights.
Yes to what? Yeah. You said yes.
And that's why we have him on. That's awesome. All right, David, tell us about Uncivilized Gentlemen.
Yeah, so we're an international men's self-development organization. We've been around for about 7 years now. And our mission is to end the suffering in men and to end the suffering caused by men. And we do that through men's coaching, through community, through retreats, through therapeutic work. We have online courses, all kinds of things. Really, we're aiming to eventually be kind of the one-stop shop for men and their overall well-being, in the next few years, hopefully.
Man, when you say you're going to help all men's troubles, I thought you were going to make divorces free.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got access to some good lawyers here in the Denver area too. We're headquartered here in Denver, and we've got men from all walks of life that are a part of our organization.
Men like you. So you are a prior service Marine, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So I was on active duty from 2004 to 2008 in Eastern North Carolina, but I had one deployment to Afghanistan, 2006. 2007, and unfortunately I got hurt in a training accident when I came home, and that was kind of the end of my military days, or at least I thought they were. I got out on 2 weeks notice with no real plan, no backup options. I planned to be a career Marine, and then it kind of all got ripped out from under me in the last 18 months or so that I was on active duty. I went back into the reserves after a couple of years of healing at home and some relatively successful treatment through the VA there in North Carolina, and then spent a couple of years in the IMA reserves at Camp Lejeune before transitioning into a life of public safety, which I did for another just over 12 and a half years.
That's an incredible story. Wow. 2 weeks notice. Holy shit, man. I can't do anything less without a month's notice. Tell us about Uncivilized Gentlemen. So you have an event coming up that you are looking for people to participate in, correct?
Yeah. So we've been hosting men's retreats for about the last 4 years all over the country, a few international events, and we've always been leaning towards starting a program just for veterans and first responders. And now that my full-time focus is now on building Uncivilized, I now have the time and space to be able to bring this offering to fruition, if you will. It's the Uncivilized Hero's Journey. And for anybody who's familiar with storytelling or movie plots or really anything along those lines, every good action movie has a hero's journey, where the hero is called to action in some way. He gets trained, he meets a mentor of some sort. He goes off to fight the battle or the dragon or rescue the damsel in distress, and then all of those movies or stories or books generally end up with the hero learning some sort of lesson, integrating that lesson into his life, and then coming back and sharing those gifts with the world. And so many of us, vets, first responders, we kind of get stuck in that, like, chasing the dragon, fighting the battle. And we miss those steps about coming home and reintegrating into society and, sharing some of the gifts that we've learned through our service with the world. And so that's really the premise for the naming of the retreat and for the work that we're going to do with the men here in Colorado, in just a couple of weeks over Veterans Day weekend.
That's awesome. That's amazing. I really like your attitude about this. This is some good stuff. How many people are you looking for?
We currently have 15 men that are signed up from all walks of public service and military life. We've got some veterans, we've got some cops, we've got some firefighters, some paramedics, a 911 dispatcher. We had a British paratrooper sign up just yesterday, so I'm pretty pumped that we're now an international retreat for this round. I'm hoping we can get 5 to 10 more guys that are ready to take the step, this next step on their healing journey and returning home to who they were before the military, or developing the next set of values and ideals and leadership principles for themselves away from the uniform again.
So let's say that a veteran is listening to this right now, and he wants to. This is something that sounds like it really would hit home with him, and he wants to participate in something like this. How can they get signed up?
Yeah, they can. You can shoot me an email at dave@manuncivilized, or you can follow, or shoot me a message on Instagram at uncivilized_Dave, or you can check out the website, which is www.manuncivilized.com/heroes journey, and it's HEROES journey.
Now, let's say that I'm one of my super rich friends, like Alexis Lopez Shaw. I have just way too much money. I don't know what to do with it all, and I want to support this. How can I support something like this? How can I make a donation and kind of pay a veteran's way for a retreat like this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all know that finances can sometimes be a difficult conversation with a lot of veterans. It's difficult to transition, making sure that we've got food in our stomach, a roof over our heads, all those kinds of things. So we created the opportunity for people to sponsor a man to attend this retreat. And it's only for men. This retreat this year is just for men. So you can go to the website, scroll down to the bottom, and we have scholarship options. We have, you can purchase a whole scholarship, or you can donate what you can. So far, through the generosity of our community, we've been able to sponsor 3 men to attend the retreat. And so, we would love to be able to offer the opportunity to some other men out there, because we've definitely talked with other men that, just don't have the finances to cover both the retreat registration and the travel costs for those that are coming from out of state.
Excellent. I love it. On to a slightly different subject. Dave, what are you doing for Veterans Day? It sounds like you're going to be at that retreat.
Yeah, I'll be at that retreat, but I'm also a coach at CrossFit Loop, along with you, Rob. I know we haven't got a chance to work out together yet there, but we've got an awesome event coming up at CrossFit Loop as well for any veterans in the Front Range area. If you're looking to connect with anybody, show up to CrossFit Loop on Saturday.
Notice the lack of eye contact.
I know he went right to his phone immediately. It was like, nope, I'm out.
I'm planning on being there as long as I can find a partner in crime to do this Chad workout I've heard about.
Yeah. So we're doing Chad 1000X for Veterans Day this year, and it's free for any active duty, Guard, Reserve, veteran, and Gold Star family members to drop in at CrossFit Loop for Veterans Day this year.
What time are you going to do? What time slot are you using?
We've got time slots from 7 to 10. You get 90 minutes to perform the workout of 1,000 box step ups for time.
Which one are you doing?
I will be doing it in the mountains at 9,700 feet in Jefferson, probably early morning.
Yeah, that he's just adding to the suck factor.
So I'm going to recruit one of the kids. I'm going to find like some 10-year-old kid, give them my rucksack, and find a step that's this high, and then feel good about beating them.
Oh, I'm not trying to beat him.
Except that he's the kids coach. Exactly.
I'm gonna tell the kids to be there. The kids from my class should be there, Rob. So you'll have the opportunity to partner up.
That's what I'm talking about. See, I like your attitude, Dave. I like your attitude a lot. Dave, for those that weren't here at the beginning, how can they support this? Give us your Instagrams and your handles again, so folks can support this event.
Yeah, definitely. Shoot me a message on Instagram. It's at uncivilized_Dave, or you can shoot me an email at dave@manuncivilized.com, or go to the website directly at www.manuncivilized.com/heroes journey, HEROES journey. And you can register there. You can make a donation, purchase a full slot for a man in need. Would definitely support or welcome any kind of donation anybody's willing to make, whether it's in kind for you got some supplements you want to get in the hands of some veterans or anything like that, or if you'd like to make a financial donation, would definitely love for that.
Dude, I love what you're doing, and our nation needs it right now. So well done to you. Very well done to you. Hey,
thank you,
do you remember final formations on Fridays where the commander would bring you all together and you'd have your end of the week safety brief?
Yeah, definitely. It was, you always had to be there for 4 hours while you're waiting for the commander to show up, right?
Exactly. Well, here we do the safety brief different. It's your week-long safety brief. So obviously I'm going to let you get in the house and go see your family and whatnot, because I know your time is precious, but do you have something you want to add to the safety brief for the end of the show?
Yeah. My favorite safety brief has always been: don't add to the population, don't subtract from the population, and never end up on YouTube or the front page of the newspaper.
Ooh.
If in jail or the hospital, establish dominance quickly. Yep, we get it. Yep. We've been there. Yep. Dave, you're doing great things. Keep up doing what you're doing. I hope you are overwhelmed with donations and you have too much money after being on the show, just all the listeners and whatnot. So good luck. Have a great time. And yeah, man, thank you a lot for being on the show. It means a lot to us that you took time away from your family to be a part of this.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I really appreciate the opportunity to come on tonight. Can't wait to see you in the gym soon.
Yeah, see you soon, bud. Have a great time.
Thanks, y'all. Be safe.
Later, bye. No, later, bye.
You know, on his safety brief, something that he said, it just clicked in my head. He definitely was in a different era than you.
Why?
Because he said, don't do anything that ends up on YouTube.
Yeah.
For you, like your era is like, don't do anything that's going to come across the Telegraph.
Yeah. I don't need this abuse. I can go on any other radio show and get this abuse. I don't need to come here and get this.
Are we going to do Never Forgotten, or are you going to do your safety brief portion? I'm going to do mine, and then Never Forgotten. You want to finish safety brief, or you want to do Never Forgotten?
Let's do Never Forgotten, because I like what you got for Never Forgotten. It's important.
All right, guys. I was actually looking for our Private Carl this afternoon, and I came across our Never Forgotten. I think
that's how much show prep goes into this. Anyone can do a radio show.
On task and purpose. U.S. Army veteran killed in Ukraine, fought for good over evil. Like many American military veterans who have died fighting in Ukraine, David Lee Coate felt drawn there after the Russian invasion. Another American military veteran has been confirmed to have died fighting in Ukraine. David Lee Coate, who served in the Michigan National Guard from 2008 until 2014, was killed by a Russian drone on October 1st. His mother, Vicky, told Task and Purpose, "I want my son to remember as someone who cared about others. He fought for good over evil. He stopped and fed the dogs, played with the children. He met and talked with the Ukrainian people." Coate, who was 35 years old, was living in New Baltimore, Michigan, before leaving for Ukraine. A friend told Task and Purpose he had previously served as a wheeled vehicle mechanic in the National Guard and deployed to Iraq from September 2010 until September 2011, according to the National Guard Bureau. Coate held the rank of specialist when he left the National Guard, and his military awards included Army Commendation Medal, National Defense Service Ribbon, Overseas Service Ribbon, Army Service Ribbon, Global War on Terrorism, Expeditionary Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Combat and Special Skill Badge Driver, and Mechanic Badge, Armed Forces Reserve Medal with M device. Coate fell on hard times when he returned from his deployment to Iraq and ran into legal problems, his mother said, but the war in Ukraine provided him with a sense of purpose that he had not felt in a long time. He changed units many times until he found where he believed he was called to be. He lost most of the men in his unit, including his backup guy sitting right next to him when he took a bullet. He lost his brother from Belarus earlier this year. That one was really hard. He told me one time, his commanding officer told him he was the longest surviving American that had been continuously fighting.
What is it about our generation that we can't get away from that deployment? Like, it calls to us. Like, if you asked any one of us,
it's not over.
It's
just not over.
You're completely right.
There's no sense of like end to OEF or OIF.
Yep, you got that. Damn, you nailed that one hard, huh?
That was easy. Ask me a hard question.
It pisses me off that you and I went there to eradicate terrorism and to end it, and now there's a possibility that our kids are going to end up going there.
Not just like, at least the fight was still continuing, and then all of a sudden to have some fucking libtard piece of shit president pull out with absolutely, I would say, piss poor planning and execution. let's say that would be giving him a compliment. Pull out, leave weapons behind, leave vehicles behind, and then end up with those fucking weapons being used by terrorists against other fucking oppressed people. Like,
and that shit's personable for you and I because we have a mutual friend. Yeah.
So this shit,
fuck it.
Fuck it.
Yep.
Safety brief.
All right, I'm going to kick us off if that's cool with you.
Go for it.
All right, so this week's safety brief, folks. So here in Colorado, we got a shit ton of snow over the last few days. Well, maybe not so much here at the Super 3 location, but at my house we did. When you're shoveling the snow, lift with your legs, not your back. There is no greater number of injuries this time of year besides falls and all that stuff. But as people are shoveling snow, they use poor form and they're going to injure their backs. No end in sight. Jody, you are correct. Man, that is a fucking heartbreaker the way he just said that. Isn't that shit? Lift with your legs, not your back. Do not use the twisting, jerking motion. Do not end up in the ER because you hurt your lower back and miss a couple days of work. Make sure you're doing it the right way, or just drop the money, get yourself a snowblower. Makes life a whole lot easier. What you got?
Folks, tomorrow is mostly a kids' holiday.
Mostly.
But I mean, a lot of adults participate. I think I got out of wearing a costume this year.
I have the best costume ever. Keep talking.
But when you're taking your littles out, let's use some common sense thing. It's a crazy world we live in. Make sure you're checking their candies. Make sure you're making sure they're lit up. Make sure that if you're out and about with your littles, you are prepared to protect them. Make sure your head's on a swivel and looking around. Again, there's just crazy things going on right now. Let's make sure Halloween is as safe as possible tomorrow night.
And our guest this evening, Katie Druva, said, don't forget to wash your hands, which is, we've never had someone come up with that one. So that's a real good one. And our other guest, David Boyd, said, don't add to the population, don't subtract from the population. Folks, this advice is going to take you through the rest of the week. We will see you next Monday right here on From the Ashes. While you're spending your work week, Christmas is coming. Go to Combat Flip Flops. Enter the code about face. You'll get 30% off your order, and we get 15% of that. When you're done shopping for your flippity floppities, go to Thigh Huggers. Enter the code
One Shot,
and you'll get 30% off your order, and we get 15% of that. Have a great rest of your week, folks. Thank you so much for spending your time here with us. We really appreciate it on From the Ashes and About Face Media. Have a great week and be safe.